Welcome to Perth Observatory, here in the Bickley Valley, set up in 1896, so certainly not as old as the Palermo Observatory, established as we know in 1790. Interestingly enough, this emblem here, which is the signature emblem of Perth Observatory, once again showing the planets in their particular relationship with the constellations in 1896, and as you can see, no Pluto. This is our main telescope dome at Perth Observatory, sitting on a 15-metre tower, and as we zoom back we will see the various domes that house the public viewing telescopes. Immediately in front here we have a 14-inch celestron in this dome. Moving around to the west we have a 10-inch 1910 Carver Newtonian telescope, and further round to our 16-inch Meade, and then right round here to the old astrographic telescope. We'll look at that in a bit more detail soon. At Perth Observatory we have a number of amazing astrophotographs. This one is a false colour image of the Eta Carinae Nebula. Not all of the astrophotographs are so intriguing. This is a more conventional astrophotograph taken without the false colour filters adding a different complexion. This is more typical of the astrophotographs we have, and this area is the area of the Southern Cross. It's perhaps hard to see in the middle there, aligned upright with the coal sack, that dark area just between Alpha Crucis and Beta Crucis. We are now looking at one of Perth Observatory's most viewed objects. This is the Atlas Celestis, the life work of the first British Astronomer Royal, John Flamsteed, published after he passed away by his widow and colleagues. It is an amazing book and very gratefully donated to Perth Observatory on the basis that it is put on public display. Visible on this double page is the constellation Gemini, the two bright stars Castor and Pollux are of course recognisable in Gemini. But our Atlas Celestis is even more special because both within the text and in the margins it has annotations which have been added. I'm just zooming across now to pick up some of those annotations. Hopefully we can see that through the glass. These annotations were added by an Englishman who unfortunately had to leave England in exile due to his support of Napoleon. His name was Capel Loft, and his annotations decorate the margins of this book. Here you can see some more. Another favourite exhibit at Perth Observatory is this iron meteorite. Adults and children alike love to come up and feel it, test how heavy it is. It's 189 kilograms. Feel the oddly smooth surface, but also marvel at the fact that this hit the planet some millions, hundreds of millions of years ago. Always a favourite. Now in the astrographic dome, looking at Perth's 13-inch astrographic telescope. A little bit hard to get it all into the frame in one go. As you can see, it's a bit of a monster. Massive frame, huge counterweight. Just changing position now to zoom in on the business end of this telescope. At the very bottom there towards the right-hand side is the plate holder for the photographic plates, the glass photographic plates that this telescope was used to expose. Repositioning again to look at the back end of the telescope. Once again, the glass plate holder there. And now we're looking up in the direction of the main barrels of the telescope. The massive gear drive unit here. This telescope is also on a polar mount, so at 32 degrees to the horizontal and aimed at the south celestial pole. Here we have the back end of the astrographic telescope, and this is the plate holder here. So this holds the photographic plates that were used to do the carte du ciel in the years prior to the Second World War and just immediately thereafter. This telescope is completely operational and has been over its entire life. It's been a great workhorse for Perth Observatory. This is Perth Observatory's 1910 Carver telescope. It's a 12.5-inch Newtonian and has been recently had its mirror refurbished. We use this telescope regularly for the public viewing nights, and this telescope has an amazing history because it made the long journey to the north of Western Australia to a place called Wallal Beach in 1919 to be part of the international viewing of the solar eclipse that took place that year. And it was that solar eclipse that helped to establish Einstein's theory of relativity. Just zooming in now to have a closer look at the beautiful brass gears on this telescope. It's polar mounted and looks daunting to use, but is actually very easy.